And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben, here for the daily What the Pluck is going on in cryptocurrencies. My friends, I've sat here for the last 2 hours and literally put my mind on where I'm at personally, where we're at as a community, where cryptos are at as a community. My clubs, my venture capital fund, the founders group, my friends, my associates, my business partners, where we're at. And I stumbled across a video of Michael Saylor that was put out a few weeks ago. And it really helped sharpen my view of, and I wouldn't even say sharpened, it really helped me see even a larger picture of our clubs, of our choices we've made, our venture capital fund, our investments. And it all makes sense. Because what I do is I look at the pluses, but most of what I look for is the minuses. What am I missing? What do I not see? What am I maybe overhyping in my head just out of hope? And I feel and I logically have came to the conclusion that we're right. We're right not because we think we're right. It's because everything, now, you're going to have to let your mind expand a second. Everything we are investing in is a growing network. See, when you invest your time, your money in anything, the number one thing and the only thing that matters is, are you growing in a growing network? I look at cryptos. Now, let me rephrase that. Initially, I look at Bitcoin. The level of adoption is off the charts. I look at it as a whole, as a global. More and more people are realizing what it is. It is an answer to so many problems. The problem with war is they can print more money to have the war. The problem with hate, which I don't believe there's that much hate in the world. I believe there are disagreements in the world, but not hate. There are differences of opinion, but not hate. We are at such a transformational monetary point in the globe. If you look at the Bitcoin the right way, and when I say the right way, is just education, right? Once you learn what it is, you understand how it is only a network of multi-originated energy. It's one place where energy created by multiple things can collect. Number one, you have pure energy. Taking energy out of nature and putting it into a network structure that is honest and predictable. Current money must be honest and predictable. Now, when I say predictable, I don't mean price. I mean how the money works, the code. The code is predictable. Every 10 minutes, approximately, a certain amount of coins are unlocked. That's predictable. That's in the code. That code is reinforced by 400 terahash of processing power. Think about that. 400 terahash of energy is in and supporting the network. It's not going to change. It's not going to degrade. It's going to stay reliable and predictable because everyone involved in the network has a self-interest to keep it reliable and predictable. That on a global scale is what now I'm using religion as a example, not as I'm pushing religion. Why was Christianity so popular? Because it was reliable. You had 10 rules that you had to follow. That was the code. People adopted Christianity because it overlaid a cultural code. That's what people love about religion. Whether you are a Hindu, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a freak, anything, a Muslim, whatever, the religion is irrelevant. What is relevant is the cultural code of conduct that people agreed with. And so they reinforced it with their energy. That's what cryptocurrency is. That's what the Bitcoin is. Except now, right, it's digital. And you can, right, do not take this the wrong way. Think of Satoshi Nakamoto, them, as the gods, right? And the son of God would be Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the messenger of the code. And we are all Jesus's disciples, right? Are Bitcoin disciples. What do we preach? We preach the truth of the code. We preach the reliability of the code. We preach the honesty of the message. And we don't try and push it on people. All we do is say, look at it. We are all basically the Mormons that knock on your door at 7 o'clock in the morning. Have you heard the good news? And but also, right, there was a reason that in the old days that a lot of corporations, a lot of companies would brag that they were ran by Christians. Or over in the Middle East, they brag, they advertise that they are ran on the Muslim, right, religion. Because that would give the clientele they would transfer the trust onto the company. That's what's happening now with the Bitcoin. Is companies like the ones I own, I'm saying, look, this is me. These are my investors. These are the other people that own my club. We teach, educate, entertain, we do this, but our business is linked with the honesty of the Bitcoin. We cannot corrupt it. No one else can corrupt it. Our clubs are like churches. And I don't mean from a religious point of view. You know what I mean. Our clubs are the churches of the future monetary system. And we are trying to educate the masses on the honesty of the systems and showing them the old system. The reason we have so much war, the reason we have so much inequity, the reason that we have so many poor people, the reason that we have so much cultural conflict is because the currencies we've lived under have been ran by a system that rewards the rich and screws the poor. It's in the code. The Fed code is to screw the poor. When you are reliant on a currency that is manipulatable in purchasing power, and your sole reliance is on a weekly basis, you don't have the money, the amount of money to outsave the interest rate or the inflation rate. You cannot outsave the inflation rate. So your family, your generational wealth doesn't exist because every generation that your family has, the money that you've saved in has been inflated and dropped the purchasing power. The system is made to grow the system, not grow the purchasing power of the individual. Rick, smash the like buttons. Yes, please smash and share this video, because as more people understand the quicker that they get out of the old system, right? The old system has you saving in a currency that the old system prints. That original printed capital goes to the top, the banks. And then is even more devalued through the banking system. See, we've been tricked into thinking generationally we're getting more wealthy because you may own a nicer house than your mom and dad, but you don't. You have a mortgage on that house that you have to pay for 30 years before you own that house. They've replaced, right? They've replaced true, honest currency with loan illusion wealth. That's the difference. You feel wealthier because you look around and you go, I got a nice car, I got a nice house. None of them are yours. They're all a loan or a lease or something. They're someone else's assets that your labor has been so devalued that it takes you 30 years to pay someone for something that takes a crew of, on average, 8 people 4.5 months to make. Think about that. The average house is actually built in 4.5 months by approximately 8 people. And that breaks into about 2,500 man hours of labor to produce your house. And now you are paying 30 years worth of time for 4.5 months of labor. Think about that. What if it took 30 years to actually create your house, to build it? You see what I'm saying? We're all being robbed by a system that we think is helping us get rich. Bingo. Wow, my head just exploded. Bingo. That's what we're doing. We are giving 30 years of our life's labor for something that takes 4.5 months of 8 people's labor. This whole system is a labor lie. It's a labor lie that we've all been talked into. Why do you think they created the slogan of the American dream is owning your own house? Like in the early days. The reason that America got so popular so quick was they were giving away land. They were called land grants. They were basically free, right? So this huge amount of people came over to America, just started flooding America because of these free or almost free land grants. That's the equivalent of the early days of the Bitcoin. That early on in Bitcoin, you could get basically free Bitcoin land. All you had to do was show up and participate in the network of the Bitcoin. That's the equivalent of people showing up in America and participating in the network of America. See, the requirements of the land grant was you had to work the land. You had to put your labor into the land and make the land profitable. Because they understood without the labor put into the land value, the land would not gain value. Without the community of America improving and participating in an economy of America, that America would never gain value. That's the Bitcoin. It's all about networks, right? Look at the word network. That's why words are so important. The net means overall work, the overall work of the community. When you realize that everything is a network, then you see what will succeed and what will not succeed. You want to invest in a community or a company where the net of people involved are willing to put the work into it to grow it. That's why I know my clubs are going to succeed, because everyone who joins the clubs and are owners of the clubs, everyone has a self-interest in growing the net worth of the clubs. And the clubs themselves are hubs of a growing network. We're launching more clubs. As we launch more clubs, the net worth of the networks grow together and individually, because the brand grows value just like the American flag grew in value. The name America grew value. All right, everyone watching on YouTube, click the link under here and join us either on Rumble or on my Patreon channel. You join Rumble, it's free, but you don't get all of it, all of me. You join my Patreon, you get all of me. So if you just want a little chunk of Bitcoin Ben, go over to Rumble. If you want all of me and my glorious, slightly overweight but yet sexy self, join Patreon. We are leaving YouTube now. Click the link under here. Join either one. And everyone else, we will continue going. Everyone say bye-bye to our YouTube friends. Alrighty, now, quick little word from our sponsor.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.com.